Hey, welcome back to Nights and Weekends with me, Marcus, your host. Sorry I was gone for a week. Been busy doing stuff. But we're going to jump right on into the whole AI thing. Let me take this out of my ear. Well, let me put it back in. We're going to be doing a reaction here to an ABC News story that came out yesterday. I think that was Saturday, talking about how AI is essentially replacing entry-level jobs for recent college graduates. We're going to go over the video and then I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think AI is going to do. Um, but as just a word of caution, I kind of feel like Jeff Goldblum's character on Jurassic Park.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
I'm just going to be honest. At the exact same time when we're doing this, you should be saying to yourself, should we be doing this? Because people need burden in their life, a job, a sense of purpose, a family, like how Jordan Peterson said.
The more responsibility you take on, the more meaning your life has. And the higher degree of responsibility that you agree voluntarily to try to bear, the richer your life will be. And no one's ever told that, and it's the case. It's like you have 4 kids, say. Well, that's plenty of responsibility. You're going to have meaning. It's going to be rough, because it's complicated. You have a complicated job and you try to help the careers of the people around you. You try to solve tough problems and aid suffering and do all of that. It's like, it's weight, it's responsibility, but there's glory in it. There's real glory in it. There's deep meaning in it. And young people are starving for that because no one ever tells them that. It's like, you're way more than you think. Man, stand up, do something difficult.
If we're going to strip that from people and essentially let us sit around and have some type of UBI or something that doesn't allow us to get a sense of meaning out of our life, out of our existence, we might as well close it up, close up shop and be done. Because humans, like how Jordan Peterson said, we are beasts of burden. We need stuff to do. And devolving down the line of hedonism and self-gratification, that only feels good for so long. So we're going to hop right on in, all right?
Hey, where Harry?
The unemployment rate for new college grads has recently surged, and some economists say businesses are now replacing entry-level jobs with artificial intelligence. Here's CBS.
I have some other information on that. They're going to give you a stat. I'm going to point to maybe why that stat isn't exactly true.
This is Ali Bauman.
Front gate.
22-year-old Michael Macaluso just earned his degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Connecticut.
You all good?
I have a son-in-law that has that frickin' degree, I believe. I'm a little bit nervous now. Hold up.
But this summer, he's back helping manage his hometown pool. He hasn't found a job in his field despite applying for nearly 200 positions.
I wonder what kind of grades that this guy got. I mean, he looks like, he takes care of himself. I mean, look at the arms. He looks like he hits the gym. But I wonder if he was hitting those books.
Expectations about what the job market would be like when you graduated?
I was told by a lot of people that I was going to...
Nose ring. I don't know. I don't know about this guy.
get a job right out of college, and then all of a sudden, there's no jobs.
New research finds now, for the first time ever, the unemployment rate among recent college graduates has exceeded the national unemployment rate, ballooning to 6.6% over the past 12 months. Oxford Economics' Matthew Martin.
This kind of goes against what you would expect. Those with higher educational attainment usually have better employment prospects than those with less educational attainment.
Martin's team believes companies are eliminating formative entry-level jobs, the work handed over to artificial intelligence. Tech companies are leading the way.
AI is permeating every aspect of our lives.
Nariman Farvardin, the president of Stevens Institute of Technology, says his school has been preparing for the AI revolution for the last 10 years.
He's been preparing for it, charging those kids an arm and a leg, and then when they get out, they got no job, and he ran off with the money. That's a joke. Don't sue me. If you do, you'll just be practicing because I'm broke.
Expects disruption throughout the workforce will be bigger than the disturbance brought on by the introduction of the internet. And
I actually lived through that, and things are better. I mean, at least, I don't know. I mean, okay. I mean, life seems okay. Even with the internet, okay? Can get so much stuff off the internet. It's crazy.
And it could last up to 15 years.
I think AI has the potential to either augment or maybe totally replace jobs that are physically or cognitively repetitive. These jobs are not only done by entry people. There are certain people who do repetitive things for all of their life. Those jobs are in jeopardy.
Some of those HR jobs have to go. A whole bunch of those folks honestly just push around paper. They don't even necessarily even help you. I went into T-Mobile today to find out something dealing with one of my daughter's phones. The guy was like, you're going to use the app. And I wanted to be like, dude, I'm here to talk to you, not the app.
Kaylee Totlin just graduated from Stevens with her computer science degree. She didn't
Holy shit. That's what my son's about to go to school for. And he's just as smart as her. He has some of those ribbons.
Internship with Verizon as a sophomore, and the company has now hired her.
I think.
Okay, hold up. It might, my son might have a future other than living in my house in my basement.
Something that's important with entry-level jobs is the networking and the opportunities that you make from it.
Farvardin says his message to students today is the same as it always has been. Get an education that will last a lifetime.
We don't try to teach our students skills. We try to teach students a way to learn on their own for the rest of their lives.
We're gonna move on to what I want to talk about. Next there. Now, in the video that you just saw, they said that the unemployment rate for recent graduates is 6.6%. Now, I went to the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We're going to see right here between January and October 24th, 1.2 million people graduated, earned a bachelor's between the age of 20 and 29. Right here. We're going to look right here. The unemployment rate for recent college graduates with a bachelor's degree, it was 15.3%, not 6.6%. So I wonder where they got their data from. And then I went ahead and I dug a little bit further because, again, you as a taxpayers, whatever, if you pay taxes, this is where your money goes. So they have all these graphs and everything else. I'm looking in 2024. And as we can see here, this is for bachelors, people who earned a bachelor's degree or higher in 2024, ages 20 to 29. The unemployment rate is right here. 13.6% are unemployed. Now, some of those people are going to school, etc., but it just seems a little bit weird. But we're going to jump on to the job cuts because I dug around. I couldn't find anything that gave a specific number on the number of jobs lost to AI at all. But we have some estimates here, and we can just talk about how jobs, the employers are cutting back anyway, but we're going to jump right here. This is an article from Fox News. U.S. layoffs spike nearly 50% as DOGE-driven cuts take center stage. Here we go. I wanted to just highlight this for us to see. The impact of DOGE was the leading reason for job cut announcements in 2025, as it has been cited in 284,044 planned layoffs through the first 5 months of 2025. From the same article, the second most cited reason for job force reductions were market and economic conditions, which were attributed to 131,257 cuts this year. Store closures, units, and plants led to an additional 94,000 layoffs, while restructuring accounted for 62,000 cuts, and corporate bankruptcies also chipped in 35,501 job cuts over that time. So it isn't necessarily just AI. It is also just a bad job. It's a bad economic conditions that are going on now that were going on last year. Since I stand 10 toes down on this, I'm one of the people that think that we've been on shaky ground for over a year now, or at least close to a year. We've been on real shaky ground as a economy in this country. Okay. The ADP report, which talks about private hiring, it was negative 30,000 last month in May, I believe it was. Now, the jobs report that just came out this past Friday is total jobs, and that also includes government jobs, state and local jobs that the government are hiring people to do. So we're on shaky ground already, but we're going to jump right back into this and get back to the whole AI stuff. It isn't just AI. We have bad economic conditions, and also, FYI, I had a small conversation with my father the other day, and he was like, "Oh, you need to make small cuts, son. And cutting all this big stuff was you need to cut small." That's what Doge did. They cut $121 billion, and people are losing their jobs because, again, when you cut anything, people are going to end up losing his or her job. And unfortunately, we can't afford the government that we have. But anyway, this article is from Forbes. It's written by Bernard Marr. How is AI really impacting jobs in 2025? Because I want to, again, there's no number. There's no exact number. Okay. So far, what it has on here, what jobs are being lost? You don't have to look far to find people losing their jobs to AI. Some of the high profile recent examples include Microsoft cutting 6,000 jobs, but that can also be because of Xbox. They're having all types of issues over there, including software engineers, marketers, product managers, lawyers, and researchers. All work that is increasingly being done by AI. But that's not necessarily saying how many of those jobs are being taken. Shortly after, IBM confirmed that it was letting 8,000 staff, mostly HR workers, with many of their functions becoming automated. So far we have 14,000 jobs from some of the big tech firms. And then Google, there we go. This follows previous rounds of heavy layoffs at tech companies that has widely attributed to AI, including 10,000 lost at Google in rounds of layoffs starting in 2023. Salesforce also cut 700 jobs. Now, I have no idea what this place is. The CEO of Bangalore e-commerce firm, Dukan, who laid off their entire customer support team because AI was 85% more efficient. So far we have, let's say, 100,000 jobs that have been eliminated because of AI. And I also found an article a little bit ago talking about Microsoft. This is probably why I don't even go to MSN to read anything. Microsoft sacks journalists to replace them with robots. Okay. So they have been doing AI generated stories. Now, there we go. So there's really no real definitive hard number on how many jobs are being lost, especially entry level that are being lost to AI. That 6.6 number, I don't know where the hell they came up with that number from, because when I look at the BLS for that age group, it is double digits, and it's been that way for years. So AI, according to, futurists and everything else, AI is going to take over most of our jobs, period. And that's not a future I want to necessarily live in, at least so far. But again, it's always been messy. Future Mark is going to find a video talking about the Luddites wanted to destroy the damn steam engine. Throw that in, I believe.
The Luddites, destroyers or visionaries. By 1811, the Industrial Revolution was in full swing. Steam engines powered mills, spinning machines replaced hand weavers, and entire communities were uprooted. Skilled artisans found themselves unemployed, underpaid, and unheard. In Nottingham and Yorkshire, those skilled workers banded together under a mythical figure, Ned Ludd. They became known as Luddites. Though they didn't hate technology, they hated unjust change. Under cover of night, they destroyed power looms and sabotaged mills. They left notes. Neslo it is, standing still. The government responded with draconian force. Orders to shoot looters on sight, mass arrests, and harsh trials. Yet the movement persisted, until it was brutally suppressed by 1816. Historians now see the Luddites not as technophobes, but early opponents of exploitative capitalism. They fought for skill, dignity, and fair wages, issues still relevant amid AI and modern automation.
But the reason for the thumbnail is that is our future. And this can go either really bad for us or really good, meaning we can have AI doing rudimentary things that we don't want to do. It could also have us helping to find antibiotics. Matter of fact, pause. All right. So as we can see here, we're going to look right over here. This is the kind of future that I would love for us to have. And artificial intelligence yields new antibiotic. A new deep learning model identifies a powerful new drug that can kill many species of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. That's the kind of world that I want to live in, okay? This is over at MIT. Here we go. Using machine learning algorithm, MIT researchers have identified a powerful new antibiotic compound. In laboratory tests, the drug killed many of the world's most problematic disease-causing bacteria, including some strains that are resilient to all known antibiotics. Wow. It also cleared infection in 2 different mouse models. That is the kind of world that I want AI to help us out in. Editing Mark is here to finish this video up. That's the kind of world I want to live in, where the AI helps us on the very hard and challenging things, like the big questions, the very difficult things to do. Like, I don't know, solving electron tunneling through microchips when the transistor distances get down to angstrom length. I would like for them to help on that. I would like for AI to help with antibiotics. I would like for them to help with vaccine creation, etc. I don't want for AI to essentially take all of the normal jobs that people do, meaning delivering food, taking care of your parents in a elderly home, coming out to do your plumbing, dropping off your kids at school. A person should be doing that. Like just like I say, this stuff is like fire. Fire can be used for good or it can be used for bad. Fire itself isn't bad. So hopefully we tread very lightly and use it for the extremely difficult things, not for kicking people off of the job success ladder. Because again, we are going to turn into the monkeys sitting around with nothing to do. And also, if you have nothing to do, how the hell do you actually make money to buy the goods and services that the companies that are using AI are trying to provide you with? So, hey, see y'all in a week. just to recap, a lot of those jobs are not, a lot of those graduates that are recently graduating, they aren't necessarily losing their jobs to AI. Some of them are, most of them are not. It's just a shitty job market at the moment. And it's been a shitty job market for a while. All right. Once things get better, those folks will be getting hired left and right. All right. See y'all in a week. Bye.